Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Vibhishana tried to bring in some sense into Ravanasura. He tells what is good and what is bad to Ravana in the midst of the sabha. Ravana then quickly goes back to his palace. Vibhishana follows him, but he waits till the next morning. The next morning, he again tries to give some good sense to his own brother. Ravana does not relent, but he does not even criticize Vibhishana also. Then Ravana starts for his sabhasthala. So he goes to his sabhasthala. It's very well described. And it was also the day on which Ravana's brother Kumbhakarna, whom we have, who sleeps for 6 months and then he wakes up for one day and then he again sleeps for 6 months. So that was the waking day of Kumbhakarna. So Ravana, once he gets into the sabhasthala, he immediately asks Prahasta to step up the city's defenses. Prahasta then goes out and he steps up all the city's defenses. Then he comes back to Ravana and says, I have put all the city in order. The city is very well guarded now. So now you need not really worry about what is going to happen to this city. O Ravana, you can be happy and you can do whatever you want. This is what Prahasta says. Then Ravana again passes another order. He says, bring Kumbhakarna to speed on all these issues, on what all has happened in the last 6 months. So now they go and they tell it to Kumbhakarna. Again Ravana, then once Kumbhakarna is in the Sabhasthala, now Ravana addresses the entire mantris and he says, I have got a very strong information that Sri Ramachandra, Lakshmana and the entire Vanara army led by Sugriva are camping on the other side of the sea. I really know nobody other than a Rakshasa can cross the ocean. Yes, there was one Kapi, one Vanara who came and who did all sorts of problematic things for us. But my dear friends, be assured, nobody other than a Rakshasa can come and win us. But let me also tell you why I went after Sita. But before that, you tell me if you are seeing any threats to the city. The Rakshasas say they are not seeing any threats to the city. Then Ravana goes on and says, you know what, I have seen Sita. She is so beautiful. She is so wonderful. She is a woman whom all Rakshasas, who is fit for a person only like me. He describes Sitama's body parts in that sabha, which I really am not very comfortable telling here. And then he says, looking at her such and such body parts, I felt that I should marry her. So he says all these things. Now that I have brought her here, also I am telling you one more thing. If Sri Ramachandra has come for Vanavasa, why did he bring his wife? Vanavasa is only done by the men. Okay, he brought his wife. Then why did he bring his arms? Then why did he go and fight with Khara, Doshana and all? So all this is not correct. I am only correct. I am only the correct person who can judge everything correctly. So I have done all this. Now think of how you can guard the city. Now look at this sabha. The people in this sabha, these people, they are in a king's court, and what are they discussing there? They're discussing one woman and the kamopabhoga of the king. Can that be done in any kingdom, in any Rajya Sabha? No, right? But then that happened there. That's why they say Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. None of the people in that sabha had enough intellect, or none of those ministers of Ravana's cabinet had enough intellect to stand up to their king and say, oh Ravana, whatever you did is extremely wrong. But now Kumbhakarna stands up and he says, oh brother, oh Agraja, I am really, really sad that you had to do this. This is very bad. You did not think well before acting in this case. First of all, having a want on another person's wife is wrong. But even if you had it, you should have fought with him fair and square. You did not do any of this. And Rama left you without killing. But okay, you made all sorts of mistakes. He really says that Ravana made a lot of mistakes. He really mentions them, a huge list of that. And then he says, okay, you did all these things, but I am your brother. I'll protect you. Don't worry. I'll go and attack Sri Rama. If Sri Rama tries to shoot arrows at me, before he shoots his second arrow, I'll kill him and I'll drink his blood. Then you and Sita can live happily for a long, long time. Anyways, but next time onwards, you should be thinking before you act on any of these things. This is what Kumbhakarna says. Then another fellow called Mahaparisva, who is another minister or Senapati in Ravana's army, he stands up and he says, oh Ravana, we see a lot of hens and cocks. The way a cock, forces a hen, similarly you force Sitama onto your bed and you enjoy with her. Why are you doing all this? The moment you do that, there will be no purpose for Sri Ramachandra to fight. Why will he fight? And we are all there to finish the killing of Rama. So don't worry about that. Why can't you go and do this? Then Ravana stands up and says, "Oh Mahaparshva, you are a great man. You gave me a very great advice." I mean, look at the irony of the statement there. You gave me very great advice, but you know what? I have a problem. In the olden days, while I was traveling across the lokas, I saw an Apsarasa called Punjikasthala, and when I saw that Apsarasa, I could not control myself. I ran after her. She ran till the Brahmaloka. She hid behind Brahmaloka. I did not spare her. I caught her. I removed her clothes. I fulfilled my desires by force with her. She went and complained to Brahmadeva. Brahmadeva then gave me a shapa that if I go and touch any woman without her consent, my head will be broken into 1,000 pieces. Again, in some versions of Ramayana, they say it was Punjikasthala herself who gave this shapa. Anyways, but whatever it is, Ravana had the shapa, and he himself is admitting that he has the shapa, and he says to Mahaparsva, because of this shapa, I did not touch Sitama till now. Otherwise, I would have done whatever I wanted to do. This is the only reason why I am sparing her. So else I would have done whatever my mind told me long ago. Saying this, Ravana stops what he's saying, and then you see another good person. Because I'm saying another good person because Kumbhakarna spoke like a good person, but and he did not conclude like a good person. But now the best man in that particular assembly, in that particular sabha, is going to talk. Vibhishana is going to again put some sense into Ravanasura. Let us see what Vibhishana is going to say in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Sarvam Sri Sai Smara Swam Charanarvinda Arpanamastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.